So I originally started wearing the mask because I'm a very anxious person, and my friends, if they had found out that I was the one making music like the music that I was making, they would have just roasted me to death. 3 years later, I've reached a point where I don't need the training wheels anymore. I should be happy with who I am, and I should be able to express myself. Everyone has told me this is a bad career choice. Maybe it is, but fuck it. Like, this is what I wanted to do. The feeling of wanting to take the mask off started around the time I wrote Migraine. It was me taking control again of Boy With Uke. I felt very good about the decision. I'm not a psycho, but I might go crazy writing typos. They ask why so shaky, missing my code, all this pressure hitting my head. Well, obviously I felt a lot of pressure. It felt like I needed to just continue blowing up on TikTok. If I didn't, I would fail and I'd lose everything. Obviously that's not true, it's an irrational fear, but when you're in the process, I feel like, of blowing up really fast, one slip up and it's like, you're gone, you fall. Like when you're on a tightrope. I've never been on a tightrope, but it was ultimately just like a fear of losing it all. I'm on a tightrope, can't hit the high notes, baby, I need ibuprofen, I know that you'll take me back home, don't leave me alone, I need a friend. It's literally impossible to make new friends. I can't talk about what I do. A few months ago this summer, I met a new person. It was my friend's friend, and he was actually a Boy With Uke fan. And he had no idea I was Boy With Uke, but we were talking and he was like, hey man, like what do you do? Like why are you here? And I was like, oh, I'm a project manager for Snapchat. And he was like asking me questions. I was like, yeah, you know, I'm not actually supposed to talk about this that much. It's not supposed to be public. And he's like, oh yeah, I understand. But it's so funny because he's a fan and he had no idea. I don't care what you think of me. I just want to be on top. I'm not stressed that you've never heard of me. You'll be listening nonstop. That was what I genuinely felt like a few years ago. It was really in theme of who I was and what Boy With Uke was at the time. It didn't matter if people knew Boy With Uke or knew the person behind the mask. It was just this desire to be heard by everyone. But if I could rewrite that line, I'd probably say like, I'm not stressed that you've never heard of me. You can listen to me if you want. Hop off the highway, I've been having migraines. I've been waiting for a while to have it my way. Oof. Just a boy acting like a goof. I got 55 voices saying I gotta do what they all say. When you hop off the highway is a metaphor for, I guess, the music industry. You can't stop. If you stop, other people will they'll go past you. You can't turn around. It's just non-stop. Sometimes you just want to like get off of it. Got me looking sideways. I don't want to write a song about a heartbreak. Oof. Just a boy acting like a fool, got 100 things I'd rather do. I was supposed to sample the Roblox oof. It is like a dying sound. Like when you die, it goes ooh, ooh, ooh. And I wanted to use that in a song. The paperwork would have been a headache because it's not even Roblox's sound. So I just said oof with my own voice. I don't like when they try controlling me, the thoughts I fight, they can get a little frightening, but I don't mind if it means I get to be free. I speak my mind loud when I wanna be up all night. I can tell they're getting sick of me, but I don't mind if it means I get to be me. Looking back now, the biggest thing that was trapping me, I think, was the mask. Even if it was just in my own head, it was like I couldn't get away from that. Without the mask, I can breathe a lot easier and I can see a lot better too. It's a nice change to be able to see my hands. Inside, I feel like relieved, you know? Free, I feel free now. I just wanna run around, but what do I know? Like I said before, I'm missing all these high notes. I just wanna live a little before I go. I don't wanna lie low. The beginning of the third verse sort of comes from, I guess, a more youthful side of who I am and just wanting to do as many things as I can before I die. Yeah, I know the subliminal messages are sending me on how to leave a legacy is harder when you're father and they're never letting constantly and speaking over what you see. It's like they're coming after me. Can someone teach me how to breathe? Tell me what I need. So the ending of the third verse, first of all, it's very difficult to perform. There's no more air in my lungs by the time I'm done with it, which I think is cool because it sort of reflects how I feel like in my career now. It's not about having the most numbers. It's more so just making what I personally think is really cool. It sucked wearing it. Like I get physically ill from like thinking about putting it on. It didn't smell very good, especially after like hot days. It's like sensory deprivation when you need all your senses. Like I couldn't see, I couldn't breathe, I couldn't smell, I couldn't hear, I couldn't keep doing it.